What is Tier 2 reporting, and do you actually need to do it? Is it just another name for community right-to-know reporting, or something entirely different? We're breaking down the basics of Tier 2 reporting, how it works, who needs to file, and what happens if you miss the March 1st deadline. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what Tier 2 reporting is, how to stay compliant, and how to avoid the biggest mistakes we see every year. Hey there! I'm Chris Ruhlin with Resource Management Associates, your environmental experts. Today, we're tackling Tier 2 reporting, one of the most common and most misunderstood compliance requirements under the Emergency Planning and Community Right-to-Know Act, or EPCRA. At its core, Tier 2 reporting is about safety and transparency. If your facility stores certain amounts of hazardous chemicals, you're required to submit an annual report to state and local emergency planning agencies. The goal? To give first responders and emergency planners a clear picture of what's on site in case something goes wrong. That information can literally save lives, but only if it's submitted accurately and on time. Now, reporting is often doable in-house, especially if your inventory is organized and your setup is straightforward. Many states have made this process easier than ever, but here's the catch. The deadline is March 1st every year. You miss it, and you're not just risking steep penalties, you're putting your team, your neighbors, and local emergency crews at risk. If there's an incident and you fail to report what hazardous materials you have on site, the legal, financial, and reputational consequences can be massive. Let's talk about time and cost. Reporting projects typically run between $1,500 to $7,500 depending on your facility, number of materials, and how well your records are organized. Want a ballpark estimate? Check out our Tier 2 reporting price calculator on our website. It's free, easy to use, and completely confidential. You'll get a real idea of the cost based on the information you provide, giving you an accurate estimate of what Tier 2 reporting could cost for you. Timing-wise, don't wait until the last minute. Like taxes, Tier 2 reporting takes time. Expect a few weeks to a month or more for the full process. Expect longer if it's your first time. The number one issue we see? Inventory headaches. Most reporting problems start with missing or outdated chemical inventories. Imagine I asked you to list every ingredient in your kitchen so I could decide what to cook. If you don't have a list, it's going to take a while. But once you build and maintain that list, it's a much faster process. Another common issue? Denial. We hear it all the time. We don't store anything hazardous. But if you have materials with SDSs or safety data sheets, and they exceed certain thresholds, they may be reportable. That includes surprisingly common things like lead-acid batteries, propane, sand or other aggregate materials, vegetable oils, lubricants, even cleaning products. We've helped everyone from hospitals to auto shops, school districts to concrete plants. If you have hazardous materials on site, you could be subject to Tier 2 reporting. Also, don't confuse Tier 2 reporting with TRI reporting. They're both under EPCRA, but they have different rules, deadlines, and agencies. Think local taxes versus federal taxes. Same ballpark, but completely different game. Where people get stuck is usually in the last week of February, scrambling to gather incomplete data. Or they've never filed before and assume no one will notice. But just because you haven't been caught doesn't mean you're in the clear. Tier 2 is a proactive approach to compliance. You do it so you're covered before there's an issue. Depending on your location, Tier 2 reporting might also go by different names, such as EPCRA reporting, SARA reporting, Section 311, 312 reporting, or even Hazardous Materials Business Plan reporting in California. But the basic regulation is consistent across the US. And to be clear, just because you have SDSs doesn't mean you need to file. It depends on your operation, thresholds, and storage setup. And no, you don't always need a consultant. If you're organized and understand these rules, Tier 2 can be a DIY job. Some people use TurboTax, others hire a CPA. We're here for the folks who want help. If you hire RMA, here's what we usually do. We assess your facility, get on site to review inventories, crunch the data, determine what's reportable, prep the forms, and file everything. Simple in theory, but detailed in practice. So what sets us apart? We don't hand this off to interns or plug it into generic software. Every report is done by experienced professionals who know that no two facilities are alike, therefore no two reports should be either. And when it's done right, we don't hear anything. No letters, no questions, no fines. That silence? That's success. So here's the bottom line. Tier 2 reporting isn't just a box to check. It's a public safety measure, and getting it right matters. If you're not sure whether you need to file or just want someone to double check, reach out. We'll help you get it done right and on time. Thanks for watching. I'm Chris Ruhlin with Resource Management Associates, and looking forward to seeing you in the next one.